make the Pearson crop pull over.
Would you like to stand up?
Sure is. It's kind of short, which it's supposed to be. And if you like to make this, you can ask from adult help, and then you'll have it. High five.
Let's get sewing.
Pearson, crop pull over. Pearson, crop pull.
Welcome to the Pearson Pullover sew-along. To make the Pearson Pullover, we need 2 sleeves that are cut mirrored, a front, a back, a neckband, and then elastic. We need elastic for the waist and we need elastic for the sleeve. In this next step, we're going to sew the sleeve to the front bodice. So right here, you'll see this is the front bodice. You can tell because the neckline is lower than the other piece, which is the back bodice. So on our sleeves, I have marked the front of the sleeve with a clip. So if you haven't marked which is the front of your sleeve yet, do that now. So I have the front of my sleeve marked with this pin. This is the right side of my fabric. This is also the right side of my fabric. This is the wrong side of my fabric. You can tell how different it is. So to sew this sleeve on, we want to lay it right sides together with the right part of the sleeve, which is the front, matching the front. You just fold it over like this. And now what we're going to do is we'll sew from here to here. So with this sleeve sewn, we're just going to unfold that, and now we're going to sew our other sleeve on. So my front is going to line up right here with my front, right sides together. We're just going to line it up from corner to corner. And I'm just going to put this clip in, hold it there while I take it to my machine. Also from here all the way up to here. This is what our shirt looks like with both of the sleeves sewn on to the front of the shirt. So now we need to do the back bodice. So we'll just flip this around like that. And here's our back bodice. And instead of folding the sleeve onto the shirt part, I'm going to fold the shirt over here. So this is the back, this is the back. You can tell because the neckline is higher. And this is the back sleeve, part of the sleeve. So I'm just going to fold this on here like we did before. I'm going to line up that curve and I'm going to sew it. Now we only have one more to do. So I'm going to fold this together. So this is my sleeve and I'm going to fold it on top of my back shirt piece. I'm just going to line this up again like that, and also from here to here. Before we sew the side seams up, I recommend pressing this hem up for the casing on the sleeve because it's going to make it a lot easier to sew this once the side seams are sewn. So press this up and then we'll move on to doing the side seams. Just press, don't sew. Okay, so I've laid my shirt right sides together and I actually did a little trick for my sleeve casing. So for my sleeve casing, I pressed it up that 1 inch, but I left about 1.5 inches on either side of the sleeve that's not sewn. So what that's going to do is when I sew it, I'll unfold that casing and I'll sew it, and then afterwards I'll have a hole so I can get the elastic in. So you can choose to do that or not do that. It's just a quick little trick to get out of having to do the casing after we sew the side seams because it's already made. So right sides together, right sides, And then we'll just unfold the hem of the sleeve and sew all the way up and then all the way down, and we'll repeat it on the other side as well. All right, so if you haven't sewn your casings up, do so now. Remember to leave a 1 to 2 inch gap so you can get your elastic through. So because I did the trick from the last step, my hole is here, my casing's already sewn. So you're gonna take your elastic, and I like to put a safety pin on the end of mine, and you're just going to thread it all the way, thread one end all the way through, leaving the other end out because you're gonna sew it into a loop. If you have a hard time with your elastic getting sucked in while you're pulling it through because the elastic is a lot shorter, go ahead and pin it in place. Now remember also that when you're doing this, try not to get that elastic twisted because that is going to really upset you if it comes out to be twisted. Okay, so next we're just going to sew these ends together like that. And then we will open them up and sew them like that. Or you can fold them to one side and sew them like that. Or if you're real lazy, you can just sew it down right here the one time. Once you get your elastic pieces sewn at the ends, tuck it in and then sew that the opening closed. And then repeat all that on the other sleeve. Okay, next step. Sewing our elastic into a circle. So go ahead and line it up, these short ends, and sew right here to make it into a loop. Just do a straight stitch right here. The elastic sewn, we want to mark 180 degrees out from that seam. So when sewn, it's a circle. A circle is 360 degrees. So 180 would be the exact opposite side of where this seam is. So fold in half and then mark it. I'm going to use my fabric chalk. Okay, and so one side will be lined up with the side seam on that side, and this side will be lined up with this side seam. So I'm going to open this elastic up, and I'm going to insert it into the shirt with the elastic on the wrong side. And then this mark is going to go right here, like this, okay? So then I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and I'm going to stretch just the elastic as I sew. If you're using, well, it doesn't matter, but when you're stretching, if you go to take a new grip for stretching and you start stretching again, I like to have my needles up. For me, it helps to keep them from breaking. So if you have to get a new grip to stretch, make sure you let go, raise your needles up, and then stretch it, and then put your foot back on the pedal and start going again. So my elastic is sewn on, as you can see. I use my serger, didn't break any needles. So the next step is to just roll it up one more time, like that, so that the elastic is fully encased. And then we're going to top stitch it. You're going to want to use a zigzag for this, or a cover stitch machine if you have one. I don't recommend using a straight stitch, but I mean, you're stretching it, so you could if you wanted to. So you'll stretch it like this and sew it. Okay, so we're almost done. Now we just gotta sew this neckband on. But first we have to sew it into a circle. So you're going to take it and fold it so that the short ends meet, right sides together. And then you'll fold it one more time, like this. And you're gonna sew down this short end right here. So I got it sewn there, and I'm going to turn it right side out, and it's just going to automatically fold in half for me because of how we folded it. So I've already found center front and center back of my shirt by folding it in half. You just line up the back seam, so the seam for the sleeve to meet the back. That'll make your middle part right there, and then just straighten it all out. And that'll mark your center front. So center front and center back of the neckband will be, because we have a loop, it's going to be 180 out from the seam. So the seam will go to the back, and then the mark for 180 out will go to the front. So I'm going to mark it with my clip here. So to put this on, I will take and put it on the outside, so the right side of my shirt. I'm going to clip it in the back, raw edges lining up, and then I'm going to clip it in the front. And I'm only doing 2 marks because from here all the way around to here is the exact same from here all the way around here. Some people mark it in 4 spots. I think that is a waste of time because this is even. This will stretch evenly over this. This is equal to this. As long as you stretch it like that as you sew it, it's going to line up just fine. Okay? So we'll take it to the machine. We'll stretch just this neckband so that fits like this, and we'll sew it in the round. Okay, so it's all put together. We just need to do one last finishing touch, and that is top stitch around this neckband here. So press your neckband. I use a ham to press mine because it's round, so it's helpful. And then top stitch using a zigzag or some other stretch stitch. I'm going to use my cover stitch machine. And there you have it. We're all done. Thank you for watching this sew along, and if you liked it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.